Ah, the gift of YouTube drama. A gift that truly does keep on giving. A present that has given entertainment to millions, resulting in some of the worst apologies known to mankind, and revealing the true colors of all. This Christmas, I think we should all gather around the fireplace and grab yourself a cup of hot cocoa as we indulge ourselves into the YouTube drama of 2023. And this is a tier list video, because every video is a tier list video now. C tier. Now to start off, we have a drama that actually happened in December of 2022, but I mean, 2022 is basically 2023 just without the 3. So in December, there's this thing called the Game Awards. It's basically like the Oscars, but for video games. And at this particular Game Awards, the game Elden Ring won Game of the Year. And so, as you would expect, the developers of the game started walking up to the stage to go accept their award, but if you look really closely, you can see this random kid just kind of like trailing behind them. He even pats their backs at one point, and then next thing you know, he's just up there on the stage. And you're probably thinking, well, this is just some guy who's part of the development team. Maybe he's like an emotional support intern or something. But that is until he steps up to the mic and nominates Bill Clinton.
Hey, Matan. You know, real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. The kid gets arrested, C tier. This next one is for all my Logangers out there. Let me dab on that. Logan Paul is up to his scams again, this time with some epic NFTs. Long story short, Logan Paul announced this epic NFT game called Crypto Zoo that was supposed to allow users to hatch NFT animals, and then you could breed those animals with other animals to create more rare NFTs. Basically, it was like My Singing Monsters, but if every monster was backed with a cryptocurrency. The problem here is Logan Paul never actually made the game, despite having collected funding for the game. In fact, he received millions of dollars of funding to create this game and just did nothing. You see, Crypto Zoo was supposed to be backed by this currency called Zoo, and in preparation for the game, Logan was allowing users to buy the currency before the game was ever released, or in this case, even created. And this whole thing went under the radar for a very long time until YouTuber CoffeeZilla made a 3-part series about it, exposing the entire scam. I love a good pyramid-shaped business model, so this one is going to have to go into S tier.
Sparkling water, you have to buy.
She doesn't realize she's been programmed.
Breathe air. I was trying to catch up.
Some greenhouse gases.
So there's this girl named Greta Thunberg who is an environmental activist. And one day, Andrew Tate was sitting in bed and went, "Guys, I'm a Sigma male. Let me tweet at her about how much emissions my cars produce." So Greta responded to him with this tweet, which Andrew Tate then responded to with this really awesome video.
The mainstream press is commenting on the fact that I was informing Greta that my very extensive car collection with internal combustion engines which run on dead dinosaurs have an enormous emission. Please bring me pizza and make sure that these boxes are not recycled. And then, because I called her out on it, the Global Matrix got this bot farm to like and retweet and all this bot commenting to try and pretend that her telling me that she has a small dick in her own email address somehow teaches me a lesson.
But the big drama here is Andrew Tate was wanted by the Romanian police for human trafficking allegations. But because Andrew is such of a Sigma male, he is always traveling. He can never stay in one location, and because of this, the police needed confirmation of his location to be able to detain him. And because of Andrew Tate's social media activity, they were able to confirm his location and successfully detain him, which is absolutely hilarious. This one is going to have to go into A tier. Now this one isn't much of a drama, but it is kind of a big deal. Susan Wojcicki, who was the previous CEO of YouTube, left YouTube as the CEO. People have a lot of opinions about this, but I don't really have much to say on it, so we're gonna go ahead and put this one into C tier. Next up, we have some guy who did something really stupid in order to get YouTube views. This is the first time this has ever happened, and I can't believe people are starting to do this now. So the drama that this event is about happened quite a while ago, but it was only this year that the person played pled guilty to committing the act that this drama is about. So YouTuber Trevor Jacob posted a video where he was flying his airplane, and due to some mechanical error, I guess, he had to abandon the plane and let the plane just crash into the ground while he dove out of it with all these epic camera angles that were perfectly set up to capture him abandoning his airplane. Now, ever since this happened, actual pilots as well as people just experienced in this field were calling him out, as this whole thing just seemed very fake. Now, I'm not a pilot, so I don't really know what I'm talking about here, but apparently there's a lot of like protocols you're supposed to do before you just kind of like jump out of your airplane. Not to mention the fact that he just happened to have a parachute on him, as well as like every single camera angle to capture him getting out of it. Years later, we find out that he lied to investigators about not knowing the location of his crashed plane, as in order to hide the evidence, he had a helicopter lift up his plane and bring it to a hangar where he disassembled it and slowly threw it away into various dumpsters. This whole situation is very absurd, but he did lose his license and also pled guilty to some charges. This one is gonna have to go into B tier. Next up, we got another YouTube drama involving the Red Pill Sigma community. This guy Sneako decided to go against very popular YouTuber Moist Critical by insulting Moist Critical as well as his girlfriend, which is very uncalled for because they both didn't do anything to him. Now, I won't go that deep into this drama because it basically just boils down to Sneako being a crybaby because Moist Critical said some things that hurt his feelings. But this whole drama led to this very infamous clip. Or should I say mag.
So he started dancing around with the gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, "Oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you," waving his gun around and dancing.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips.
Now, the reason he keeps saying watch my clips while threatening me here is because during the stream, I couldn't watch him live because he just kept shouting slurs. So I said, watch my clips to see what I was saying about you. I had to communicate via Twitch clips. And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here.
And for that, we're gonna have to put this one into S tier. Now, this one I'm sure absolutely everybody has heard of before. Colleen Ballinger, more commonly known as Miranda Sings, was found to have done some not so great things to her fans. This information was brought to light by Adam McIntyre, where they spoke out about what Colleen had done to them, as well as revealing this group chat Colleen had with a bunch of her fans who were all minors while Colleen was in her 30s. And in this group chat, she would ask for pictures of them and say some very weird stuff. Now, this is a very serious situation, so you would expect Colleen to have a serious response to this and own up to her actions and maybe try and make amends. Well, I mean...
Hey, it's been a while since you saw my face. I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. All aboard the toxic gossip train. You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station.
Yeah, so in response to these allegations, she had dropped a 10-minute-long music video. She sings about the toxic gossip train and how she is actually the victim of this situation because the things that people are saying about her are hurting her feelings. And she claims that all these things that people are saying, they're just making up about her for the fun of it, but I don't think the actual victims of the situation are making this stuff up for fun. In fact, the only fun thing about this situation is the fact that this is hands down the worst YouTube apology of all time. But guys, you gotta keep in mind, her team told her she couldn't say what she wanted to say, but they didn't say she couldn't
Sing what I want to say. So, the only thing I've ever groomed is my 2 Persian cats.
S tier. And these dramas just keep getting crazier from this point onwards. Next up, we have a riot that was started in New York City because a streamer announced that they were going to be giving out free PlayStation 5s. Now, this happened because streamer Kai Cenat did an announcement that he wanted to do a meetup with his fans in New York City and to give away some free stuff. Now, I don't blame him for this because it clearly was very harmless on his part. He expected at most that 500 people would show up when in reality, 7,000 people showed up. And sure, maybe it was a little irresponsible on his part to do this thing without any organization, but this is probably the largest reach of any streamer planned event that I've ever seen. Now, there were 65 people arrested at this riot, as well as 4 injured, which is not very good, and Kai was also charged with inciting a riot. Overall, this is a pretty crazy situation, but I do think it is a very good lesson for streamers and YouTubers going forward about the reach that they can have on their audiences, because this whole social media thing is still very new, and I think a lot of people don't realize the impact that they truly have on the world. This one did result in people getting hurt, so this one is going to have to go into D tier. Next up, we got Linus Tech Tips, who on a podcast decided to announce that he used to be a very avid user of the hard R because he thought the hard R referred to the word talking about a mental disability and not, you know.
I mean, it's been kind of eye-opening. Episodes of, you know, old shows that I hadn't watched in a long time from like the early 2000s, and just the casual the casual sort of gay humor, casual use of the hard R.
Oh, really?
It's jarring. Like, okay, it was an episode of American Dad, and it was just
really?
like, yeah, it wasn't for shock value. It was just like used. I'm not gonna deny that I dropped my fair share of hard R's back then, because we didn't even, the term hard R didn't even exist. We didn't think about it, right? And it's funny because to me, that doesn't feel like that long ago, but to my kids.
Are you talking like N-word hard R?
What? No.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's how people use that term.
No.
I think
that's
so.
That's the N-word. No, the one with the for mental disability.
I'm pretty sure people use hard R in a very different way than you just used it.
Oh.
This one is absolutely hilarious. S tier. Next up, we have one of the most talked about YouTube dramas of 2023, and honestly one of the most mainstream dramas I've ever seen. Now, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Ssyniperwolf. She is a very popular YouTuber who does a lot of reaction content that is questionable to how transformative it truly is. And by transformative, I mean the fact that a lot of her content just boils down to her watching the video and just stating exactly what happened in the video.
You know, we're gonna keep folding it into a smaller triangle, flip it over. Okay, this is too many steps.
And worst of all, she doesn't give credit to the creators who made the videos that she is reacting to. It's almost as though she is just stealing their content. And another YouTuber named Jacksfilms noticed this, and so he created a channel called JJ Jacksfilms, which is a parody on her name, Ssyniperwolf. And so he started to create reaction content to Sniperwolf reacting to other content. And to make it transformative, he decided to turn it into a game of bingo, where you would get spaces every time Sniperwolf would do one of her common tropes in the videos, which just goes to show even more how untransformative this content is. And it may seem like he's just bullying her, but the thing is, Ssyniperwolf is one of the biggest creators on the platform that is constantly on the homepage of YouTube when all she does is just steal other people's content. And well, for a while, this is where this drama ended. Sniperwolf never really responded to it, and Jacksfilms just continued doing what he was doing. That is until Sniperwolf decided to go to Jacksfilms' house and take a picture of the front of his house and post it onto Instagram. Yet, Sniperwolf wasn't happy about the situation, so she decided to dox him. After this, any credibility that Sniperwolf had left the building. I mean, it could very much so be argued in her favor that she was being bullied, but after this, it just kind of became unacceptable. YouTube took away her monetization for an unspecified amount of time after this, which I don't really think is a good enough punishment, but that's where the drama kind of ends, as Sniperwolf has gone back to doing what she does best, and Jacksfilms has moved on to a new series where he is trying to help smaller creators find a place on the platform. Overall, this is just a wild situation, and it has to go into an S tier up until the part where Jacksfilms gets doxxed. Then it goes down to like an F tier because that just isn't very cool. Next up, we got a massive drama that is a completely unforgivable act. MrBeast built 100 wells in Africa. Yeah, people got mad about this. According to Yahoo News, apparently MrBeast was just furthering the stereotype of Africa needing help from other countries. And so even though MrBeast helped 50,000 people have fresh water, apparently this was actually a bad thing. Now, I don't think this was actually that big of a drama. It just was kind of poor journalism that spread around the internet for a bit. But overall, I think this was just people trying to make a big deal about something because they had nothing better to do. This one is gonna have to go into D tier. And finishing off 2023, we have one of the biggest Twitch streamers who decided to call her viewers broke. Famous streamer Pokimane released a company called Mina Snacks where she was selling 4 packs of cookies for $28, and people were not happy about the price. $28 for cookies. Do you know how many V-Bucks I could get with $28? That's a lot of MrBeast skins. And rather than just ignoring the criticism, Pokimane decides to respond while on stream by saying this.
Like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Now, should she have said this? No, but overall it's not that bad of a situation, and so this one is gonna have to go into C tier. And finishing off 2023 with one last drama, it appears that you're actually not subscribed to my YouTube channel.